high.
It's raining, it's pouring, but that won't stop the racing at the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship. Drivers from across the region are suiting up for the honor of being crowned the series' first champion. Battling nerves, the weather, and the unfamiliar territory. Plenty of race action coming up. This is the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship.
Welcome to Philippines!
Hello and welcome to the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship. A whole lot of hard work and effort has gone into bringing this series to life in Asia, and we've crossed the seas to the Philippines. I'm Daniel Woodruff.
And I'm Renai Matu here at Clark International Speedway, where the engineers and crew have been busy getting right ready for Event 2.
A new circuit means new challenges and a whole lot of racing action.
With Pinatubo Volcano marking the skyline, Clark International Speedway is the latest venue of the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship. One of 12 FIA-certified Formula 4 series run globally, this championship now welcomes the addition of the Philippines, Indonesia and Thailand into its first season.
The idea of the FIA is to give more coverage, more opportunities to young Asian drivers. So some Asian drivers, because of schooling and everything else, it's difficult for them to go abroad. So for the Philippines, we actually brought the championship here to the Philippines in Clark International Circuit, and it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's worked very well because we have 3 new Filipinos on the grid, so that's very positive.
This is the first ever FIA-certified event to be held in the Philippines, pointing to a significant milestone in motorsports development in the country.
With one event under their belts, there's still plenty that the drivers have to get used to, including learning a new circuit. It will be a first for a majority of the drivers racing here.
As well as being unknown territory, the Clark International Circuit runs in an uncommon anti-clockwise direction. And that means the track is going to be even more physically demanding for our drivers. Clark International Speedway is located in the Clark Freeport Zone, which sits about 60 kilometers northwest of downtown Manila. The Freeport Zone is the site of the former United States Air Force Air Base. Measuring 4.189 kilometers long, the circuit is the first on the calendar that runs anti-clockwise. The tight, twisty circuit is just 15 meters at its widest. The track has 18 corners with 10 of them left-handers. A nearly 1 kilometer straight promises speed-induced thrills.
The drivers were hitting impressive speeds of close to 210 kilometers an hour along the circuit straight during qualifying. It was sunny blue skies and dry conditions out on track for the morning session on Saturday. Indonesia's Presley Martono had been the fastest in the early morning free practice, and he would be the fastest in qualifying too. He secures his first ever pole position in this championship with a quick lap time of 1 minute 54 seconds .412. India's Mohammad Nalwala starts alongside Martono after an impressive 1 minute 54.568 seconds. Fellow compatriot Akash Gowda will start in third. Rounding off the top 4 is New Zealand's Fane Kahia. Local heroes Gabriel Cabrera will start on 5th with Angie King 11th on the grid.
Dry conditions for the start of race 1. Presley Martono looking to make the most of his first pole start in Formula 4. But early drama when both Martono and Mohammad Nalwala would jump the start. Both would suffer a drive-through penalty, handing the lead to India's Akash Gowda, with Fane Kahia close behind.
I knew the guys in front of me, they were going to eventually have to come in the pits, so I just managed the car throughout the race.
I just focused on my braking points and my clipping points on the apex, so I had a bit of understeer, which caused the car behind me to catch up. That put a bit of pressure on me, but I was able to handle the pressure and come away with third.
Oman's Khalid Al-Wahaibi and Malaysia's Chow Wing-Hung going down to the wire. Khalid, in his maiden appearance in the championship, would hold on for a podium finish. It's Fane Kahia in second, while Akash Gowda celebrates his first ever win in Formula 4.
I was really excited and happy that I finished first. It's worth the effort because we worked really hard on Thursday and Friday, and finally it's paid off, and yeah.
Khalid Al-Wahaibi's third-place finish sees him also secure the rookie trophy for race 1. Malaysia's Ishraf Danish finished just a tenth of a second behind in 4th, while home favourite Angie King was the highest-placed Filipino driver in 8th, securing her first points of the championship.
Akash Gowda starts on pole position for race 2 after a confidence-boosting win in race 1. But you might have noticed conditions here have changed.
And when the rain starts pouring, the tyres have to change as well. And these tricky conditions will add an extra hurdle to this already tricky circuit.
The drivers' fastest lap times in race 1 would determine the starting positions for race 2. Joining Akash up front, Indonesia's Presley Martono. Home favorite Gabriel Cabrera will be making his move from 7th position on the grid, with compatriot Angie King in 11th. There were nerves ahead of the first ever wet race held in the championship. A determined Presley had a brilliant start, jumping into the lead in the opening lap. Pole sitter Akash, meanwhile, would fall down the field to 8th before the hard task of pushing back to the front to 3rd.
Well, Akash, he was catching up really fast on the first section of the track, which was, the first corner. He was braking really late, so he caught up really fast.
So I made a move on Gabriel in the first corner. It was really good because, I was a lot more confident than he was. And then slowly we caught up to Presley.
I just try to, if not extend my lead, maintain my lead. And, I think I was doing a pretty good job. Then at one point I had a massive lead. I looked in my mirrors, and 2 laps at the end I was just trying to experiment with a few things, and probably I think like 5th corner, I just braked a bit too late and ran off the track.
Presley made a slight mistake. It was the last corner, so in the first corner I got from the outside of him, and basically my confidence in the first corner was better than they were. So I was able to make a move on Presley in the first corner again. So and then I just concentrated forward, and I just kept going.
Gowda jumps Martono at the first corner for the lead and holds on for the win. The Indian ace is flying high after his 2nd win in Formula 4. Presley Martono finishes a cool 2nd after that tough battle. While homeboy done good, Gabriel Cabrera's podium finish also sees him secure the rookie trophy for race 2. Compatriot Angie King also in the points after finishing in 8th.
That wraps up an eventful day of racing in the Philippines. After the break, we find out how it feels to be racing on the Clark International Speedway. Plus, more racing drama.
My name is Gabriel Tayo Cabrera. I'm 16 and I'm from Manila, Philippines.
Hi, my name is Eric Lewis. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Malaysia.
I'm Isha Brinish. I'm 15 and I'm from Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Khalid Al-Wahabi and I'm 16 years old from Oman.
I'm Angie King from the Philippines.
So this Philippine track is very technical.
It's a challenging track. I think it's a new track, challenging for the other drivers.
One challenging thing about racing in this track, it's really narrow.
Yeah, the corner is very tight for me and challenging.
Here you have to be patient and wait. There's not a lot of space for 2 cars going to a corner.
The Sector 3, really twisty, but the Sector 1 and Sector 2 is mostly like Sepang, high-speed corners.
But this one is definitely a challenge.
I guess because I'm used to this track, I've been doing it for a few years, so I don't find it so technical, but I'm learning different things from the data analysis.
When I go to the new track, I learn by coaching driver's data,
Always looking through data and writing down what I need to do.
It taught me how to brake at a point and where's the acceleration point.
So we just did a lot of preparation, just walking the track, using the vans, going around the tracks.
Track walks always before I start, just to keep the track in mind and refresh myself.
To have a track walk or just grab a bike and just go around just to see where the overtaking spots are. Is it bumpy on this side of the track compared to this side?
Helping drivers to learn the ins and outs of a new circuit is the data collected from their time on track. And one of the most unique features of the One Team Championship is the open data policy. It allows a fair, equal and level playing field by giving drivers open access to their own sessions data and that of other drivers.
Throughout the weekend we collect videos, telemetry from the cars, basically anything to do with the way the car rolls, the braking, the throttle, the RPM, the gear changes, anything that can help us benefit the drivers. As you know, the circuit is 4.2 kilometres in length, so there can be time found in each bit of the course. So it's very important that we are very thorough and look through each bit of data. It's read in a telemetry sheet, so basically we look at a graph, and if it's higher, then the person's slower versus another driver, and vice versa if it's lower. All the drivers compare their data to each other. They look at videos as well as the telemetry, and it's interesting to see what they can pick up from each other, so it's good to see that they're all helping each other in some way or another.
In race 2, the drivers experienced their first taste of wet weather conditions, and as we prepare for race 3, we can see that the heavens have opened up even more. And as these conditions intensify, the drivers would have spent even more time going through their race data to find out how to go a little bit faster.
And it's going to be a little bit more challenging as well out there because the top half of the grid has been reversed. Fain Kahia starts on pole position.
The finishing positions for race 1, with the top half of the grid reversed, means Malaysia's Chow Wing Hung joins Fain up front. Home favourite Gabriel Cabrera would start from the second row, Indonesia's Prezi Martono alongside him. Double winner Akash with Malaysia's Eric Lewis rounding out the third row. As rain poured, so did the determination. Gabriel Cabrera storms through for the lead in the first few corners. An aggressive start from Khalid Al-Wahaibi sees him take second.
Initially I had a lot of wheel spin, but then once the traction came, I was able to get going and other people struggled a bit. And then from there on, I managed to keep the pace and others struggled and spun off.
The drivers continued to push to the absolute limit in the challenging conditions, and some suffered the consequences. Fain Kahia, Akash Gowda, Prezi Martono and Keenan Santoso, all victims of the torrential rain in the first laps.
I was watching the red light, and all of a sudden the red light disappeared. I'm like, what happened? And next thing I know, the car is spinning out right in front of me. I'm just like avoiding it, like, okay, just take it easy, bring the car home, and, you know, just be consistent at it.
The safety car was deployed and the drivers remained in their positions until the end. Gabriel Cabrera claims his first race win ahead of Khalid Al-Wahaibi and Angie King.
My goal for the weekend was just a podium finish, but coming home with a win, I'm ecstatic. I don't know what to say.
My goal this weekend was just to finish the race. I wasn't expecting to go podium. I wanted Gabe to get podium for sure, and this was it. Like, apparently we're rain drivers.
The Philippines is well represented in race 3, with both drivers making the podium in front of a jubilant home crowd. Cabrera also secures the rookie trophy with his win. Malaysia's Eric Lewis finishes 4th, while Muhammad Nalwala finishes 5th in that incident-filled wet race.
After difficult conditions in race 3, the rain continues to pour. On pole position, we have Prezi Martono, who has the pace and will definitely have his eyes set on a podium finish.
With the grid positions of race 4 determined by the driver's second fastest time from qualifying, he definitely has the pace. Indonesia's Prezi Martono sits on pole with a time of 1 minute 54 seconds, .412. India's Muhammad Nalwala at the front alongside him, just 1/10 of a second off, while Pinoy hopes rest in Gabriel Cabrera, 5th on the grid with Angie King in 10th. The wet conditions proved difficult for the pole sitter, who drops down to 4th at the start, while some gutsy magic from Khalid Al-Wahaibi sees him take the lead. Then a spectacle on the straight as the 68th of Chow Wing Hung goes spinning off the track. The safety car was again deployed, with the race resuming on lap 3. The 5 front runners would pull ahead, Al-Wahaibi leading ahead of Martono, Gowda, Kahia and Cabrera. Under pressure, the Oman driver would make the unfortunate error. Now leading, Presley would keep the ambitions of Akash in check as they pulled a gap in front.
I had to be aware that Akash was there and he was very fast, and he was faster in some parts, I was faster in the other parts. He had good runs into the straight. I just had to watch out in my mirrors in case he dived up the inside, but at the end I just kept it under control and pulled off the win.
While a battle for the last spot on the podium played out between homeboy Cabrera and the Kiwi Kahia. What a wet and wild race. Prezi Martono secures his first win in Formula 4.
I want more of these wins, possible this weekend, but I think we worked hard for this, so for the meantime I just want to chill and maybe review data later, but I definitely want more of this and more consistent results.
Sweet victory for the Indonesian Martono. He also secures the rookie trophy. Akash Gowda finishes second, while the Kiwi Kahir secures third position after a tough battle with Gabriel Cabrera. The Filipino just missing out on the podium in fourth, with compatriot Angie King coming in seventh. We're off for a quick break. No break in the weather, however. More wet and wild action from the Philippines when we return.
Yeah, I have both a diet regime and a fitness regime. The diet regime, I think I'm doing okay because, you know, I just eat oatmeal in the morning with blueberry jam just to make it not boring.
You really keep on watching what I eat and don't eat too much, basically. You could say I'm a food enthusiast, so.
No diet. I just eat whatever I want.
A lot of protein, less carbs, stay away from fried food.
For the fitness part, I try my best to lose weight, but because I am a tall kid, smaller kids or drivers have an advantage over the really tall ones.
Well, I train every day, maybe like twice a day, one in the morning, one in the night. Because I do a lot of cardio in the morning, then I go in the night for weight training. Going to the gym, cardio is pretty good for me.
So I usually go to the gym like every day. Main routine is my strength, focus on my bicep and chest. As for control the car, it's very heavy.
There's other muscles that you need to work on for the G-force on the cars, like your neck muscles and your biceps, obviously, which require like heavy weight.
The drivers are all lining up on the grid for race 5. I'm with Aman Ibrahim, the driver coach here. Now, Aman, we've seen them having to battle in some difficult conditions.
Yeah, as you can see, it's not perfect sunny weather here anymore. It's since last evening, which we've had a lot of rain. I think 4 out of the 5 races have been wet. The guys have learned a lot. They've adapted really well. I think, okay, a few of them have made mistakes, but that's how you learn. And as we go on, when more races they do, they're getting more and more confident with the track, with the car, and just the surroundings. If you look at today, right from the get-go, from the last race, they were on it, and they had a really good race, you know.
It's going to be some good racing ahead.
The drivers' fastest lap times from race 4 would determine the starting lineup for the 10-lap race 5. Home hopeful Gabriel Cabrera would sit on pole position after a fastest lap of 2 minutes 6 seconds .243. Kiwi Kahir joins him on the first row. Akash Gowda, Presley Martono, Ishraf Danish and Khalid Al-Wahaibi start from positions 3, 4, 5 and 6 on the grid. It was action from the go. A superb start from Kahir and Martono saw the pair jump the pole sitter Cabrera.
Finally got a mint start and just zipped away, clear road in front of me, just made sure to keep consistent, push as hard as I should and bring it home.
Gabriel forced into an intense fight for third with Khalid and Akash. The Indian Gowda making several attempts to gain a position over Al-Wahaibi before eventually securing P4 as he began hunting down Cabrera in third.
I looked in my rearview mirror, I saw Akash catching up, and I was like, okay, I need to go a little bit faster. So I was moving my braking points a little bit later. But then on my visor, as I went down the straight, I was like, why is there a lot more water coming? I was like, okay, I think it's starting to rain. So there's a kind of a dry line in the middle of the straight. So I was taking that line, and I saw there was water everywhere. I was like, okay, it's disappearing. It's gonna rain. It's starting to rain really hard. So after that, I just saw like red flags, and you know, the track was just all wet and flooded. So.
With conditions worsening, the race was red flagged with 3 laps remaining. Kahir gets his first race win of the season ahead of Martono and Cabrera.
I'm real super stoked to get this win. I'm almost more happy that I finally got a win, more than I actually won.
The Kiwi Fane Kahir is on top of the world after the win in race 5. Presley Martono finishes second, securing himself another rookie trophy. while Cabrera is proudly flying that flag of the Philippines high with a third-place finish.
The finishing order for race 5 would determine the starting grid for race 6, with a twist, as the grid was again reversed for the final race of the weekend. For the 10-lap race, Oman's Khalid Al-Wahaibi was to start from pole position, Akash Gowda alongside him. As the grid lined up, however, the weather took a turn for the worst, leading to a decision by race officials to abandon the race, to be rescheduled in a future round. Typhoon Karen officially leaving her mark on the championship.
With that, Event 2 of the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship draws to a close. India's Akash Gowda is sitting at the top of the points for Event 2 with 81. Fain Kahya adds 69 points to his championship tally. The Philippines' Gabriel Cabrera's 4 podiums and an all-important win gives him 68 points. Oman's Khalid Wahaibi has 50 points after his first ever races in Formula 4. Malaysian Ishraf Danish takes home 38 points, while compatriot Eric Lewis takes home his first points of the championship. The Philippines' Angie King secures her first 30 points of the championship. Indonesia's Keenan Santoso adds 21 to his tally, with Malaysia's Chow Wing Hung claiming 18 points for himself. All these points add up for an eventual championship winner, with super license points to be awarded to the top performing drivers at the end of the season.
The torrential rain did nothing to dampen the spirits of the grid. Akash Gowda's 2-win performance sees him not only top the weekend's points, but it secures him the Petron Star Driver Award for Event 2.
I'm really happy because it's been the best weekend here and really tricky weather, and it was hot on the other day and now it's heavily raining. Yeah, I'm really happy for this because so far it's been the best race ever. So best weekend, and I've got this Star Driver Award and I'm really happy for it. I'm excited for the next round, round 3 in Indonesia, and I've never been there and it's going to be my first time. So I'm just hoping to adapt to the track much faster than the others so that I can improve on myself later on. Let's hope for the best.
First of all, I'm very excited to see around 60 plus of Malaysian nationals doing all the technicals, preparations. Very excited to see how safety is being done. Whatever weather, Formula 4 will still be a successful event.
It's been a fantastic event here at Clark International Circuit. It's been different because the drivers never have an opportunity back in Malaysia or Indonesia or India to race in the wet, and we had almost 6 totally wet races. It's exciting, it's different, the results change. You know, every week, every race has a different result, and it's been a great opportunity.
And that wraps up a successful weekend of the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship at the Clark International Speedway. With 2 events done and 4 to go, the championship moves from the Philippines to Indonesia for the next round in Sentul. See you then.
See you at the next round in Indonesia.
See you in Indonesia.
See you in Indonesia.
Jumpa di Indonesia.